Good afternoon. First of all, my compliments to colleagues Christian and Martin for their great presentations. Great job. Regarding myself, I'm Aiga Benfelde, Procurement Manager here in RB Rail. And with some of you, we have, I think, met in springtime this year when procurement webinar was held. And this presentation will be similar to previous one. I will focus on some items where I would see that some fresh information have to be updated. And first of all, I would like to start from the beginning, where to apply. So RB Rail procurements are procured under Latvian public procurement law, so it means that we are using Latvian e-tendering system. If you haven't registered there, please do so, because all the proposal application submission is happening and organized through the system. So registration in the system takes time, so do it now. You don't need to have a specific procurement where you want to apply to register in the e-tendering system, so you can do it now. And as well, in e-tendering system, you can find our profile where all the procurement documents have been published regarding the current ongoing procurements, as well the procurements what have been finished. And the same information we are duplicating in our website, railbaltica.org. So in both sites, you can find all the information and documents. So regarding most common procurement procedures, what we are having now in RB Rail, from one-stage procedures, these are open competitions, what we are using. So this is one-stage procedure where all package comes at once, both qualification documents as well as technical and financial proposal. So this is less flexible procedure. No negotiations, no adjustments to the proposal can be done. So all is evaluated as a single package. And from two-stage procedures, we are currently using most commonly competitive procedure with negotiations, which means the two-stage procedure with pre-qualification phase, and then all qualified candidates are invited to submit their initial technical financial proposals. And afterwards, all the proposals which have met the minimum requirements are invited to the negotiation stages. They can be one or several these rounds, and then that's the difference between other procedures mentioned in the slide. So we can have adjustments to the initial proposal. So during the negotiation process, there are, of course, strictly limited what type of conditions can be negotiated. They have to be clearly stated in the procurement documents. But still, so some assumptions, some requirements, some contract conditions can be adjusted, considering what has been discussed during the negotiations, and then the final bid can be submitted. So before you are applying in a procurement, please carefully read all the procurement documents so you have clarity what is required there. If you don't understand something or you have concerns on something, please use the Q&A process, ask questions to the Commission, raise your concerns regarding the requirements, technical specification, draft contract, everything. And I encourage and stress that this have to be done before the application or proposal submission, because this is the only time when Commission can consider and adjust the documents, even regarding the draft contract. So please don't do in a way that you are submitting, for example, some comments on the draft contract together with the proposal, because actually Commission won't be able to consider them. The only exception is my mentioned example of competitive procedure with the negotiation. So this is the procedure when there is a possibility to have some adjustments to the draft contract, and actually Commission in the regulations as one of the items in the proposal asks suppliers and tenderers to submit their their adjustments to the contract conditions. When you are preparing application or proposal, first of all, please use the forms what we are preparing and attaching to the regulation. So these annexes we are formulating in a way that they help you and guide you through the process. So the requirements not always are very short and clear. So we are using tables where you can have such type of checklist and it can help you to describe the compliance better. As well, please, in that part where you have to describe the compliance, be as explicit and clear as possible. So for the Commission, it's easier to understand the compliance is there or not. So there are less clarifications needed, and it's easier to check the compliance and verify that everything is okay. Here are examples on the criteria what we are using. So first of all, regarding financial standing, turnover is one of the items. We are asking it proportionate to the estimated value of the specific procurement. However, liquidity ratio and equity requirements are the same in all our procurements. So liquidity ratio should be at least 1 or more than 1, and you have to have a positive equity. We are adding in our annexes the calculation formula, so we can check from values from your financial statements that the ratio and equity calculations are correct and values are correct. So please use those values what you have in the financial statements, what you submit together with the application, so Commission can check that they are consistent. And the other part is technical capabilities. Usually it's experience, what we are asking. For example, regarding some services, here are two short examples from one of the procurements. So what I want to stress here, first of all, if there is a list of several items that have to be met in the project, in your reference project, so please be aware that all those items have to be there. Otherwise, that project won't be recognized as compliant. So if you need to have elaboration of technical requirements, RAMS requirements, and there is a list of them, then you have to provide you have to provide the project where all those items have been met. The same is with infrastructure parameters, what we are usually asking. Again, if there are several ones, like in this case 50 kilometers, 40-35 gauge, design speed 160 kilometers per hour, so all these three have to be met in the project. It cannot be the case where it's, yes, it's 50 kilometers, it's 40-35 gauge, but the design speed is 120. So this project won't be compliant because one of the parameters is not met. So read the requirements carefully. And as I said, in the annexes, we are usually trying to list them so you can check the compliance when you are filling in actually the annex. When you are preparing technical and financial proposals, first of all, don't change the technical specification or the financial proposal form or template what has been provided in the procurement documents, because Commission has to check the compliance with the technical specification. So it's not the case where you can do in a way that you are changing the specification by changing it in a way so your proposal and your proposed solution complies. So there are some cases when we are asking specific solutions to be submitted by the tenderers, but this is another case, so it's particularly then written in the procurement documents. And the same with the financial proposal forms, so please use the formulas what we have, and if you are adding some new items, new rows, then please double check if all is well, because there can be situations where, for example, arithmetical error occurs. And here I want to stress that this is a procedure which is fully described in the public procurement law, and Commission is entitled, and it's legitimate for the Commission to correct these mistakes, and afterwards a financial proposal with those corrected mistakes is the one which will be evaluated. And as I said before regarding the qualification criteria, the same is here. Please be as clear and explicit as possible when you are describing your proposal, because in some cases it's just more clearer that the compliance is there with the minimum requirements, for example, but as well if there are specific evaluation criteria related to some items, then again it's more convincing for the Procurement Commission to give more points. And one item, what I described in spring presentation, and I want to have it here as well, is about the thin line between clarifications and amendments, because this is our daily life in the commissions, to understand in which case we can consider the response received from the tenderer as a clarification, or in which case it's an amendment. So first of all, the idea is that Commission have to follow all the public procurement principles, transparency, free competition, equal fair treatment, as well, of course, effective use of our funds. So for Commission, it is allowed to clarify something that actually already exists in the proposal. Yes, it's maybe not so clearly defined, but it's there. So no new information like new intention in the proposal cannot be added during the clarification process. Here are one of the examples regarding clarification, and this was the case where we were asking for having a reference project where at least one railway bridge, at least 200 meters long, was built in that infrastructure. And yes, all the information was provided regarding the project, regarding the bridges, that there are several bridges. However, the length of the bridge was missing. So in this case, Commission clarified, and it was clear that the project is already described, and it's clear what project it is. So there was just needed clarification to check what length of the bridges was in that case. So this was okay, and it was accepted afterwards, and there were no problems. The second example is related to situation where several lead experts and their experience were requested, and Commission evaluating the proposal couldn't find any information regarding one of the experts. So the CV, the name of the expert wasn't there. Usually in these cases, still the Commission asks to clarify, because maybe Commission has missed some document. It can be a case as well. So, however, in this particular example, candidate responded, yes, it was a mistake. They forgot to submit any information about one of the experts, so no CV, no name, surname, nothing. And then they attached this information to their response letter. And this was the case where Commission couldn't accept it because it's new intention. Commission cannot verify that this intention was already at the beginning of the proposal submission. So the information and these clarifications was considered as amendments to the proposal and wasn't accepted. And going towards the end of my presentation, a few things still I wanted to mention is about the ways how you can cooperate and participate in the procurement. So one of the approaches is to have a partnership, so we don't have any restrictions, so you can form a partnership to participate in our procurements. But some of things you have to be aware of. First of all, there should be a cooperational agreement or letter of intent, and this document have to be submitted already at the beginning when you are applying to the procurement. So for the Commission, it is clear who forms the partnership, who are the members of the partnership, what are the responsibilities, how they are split between the members, who is representative of the partnership, and such type of information. As well, this document have to be signed by all members of the partnership, so Commission can be sure that the intention comes from all the members. And here is one another thing to mention. Please choose your partners wisely and carefully because there is no option and it cannot be accepted that any member of the partnership is exiting during the procurement process. So in case if some of the or any of the partners in the partnership wants to exit, then unfortunately you won't be able to participate in the next stage, for example, of the procurement. And another slide, what I wanted to mention, because we have had these situations and we have them actually regularly, is that suppliers comes from holdings. So it is okay, this is fully fine for us. One thing to be mentioned here is that still, as if you are a sister, you are coming with your sister company or mother company, or you are actually relying on their capabilities or experience, they are still separate legal entities. So in any case, you have to add to the application or the proposal some information, again, some agreement or a letter of intent together with that sister mother company, for example, that the resources or that experience, expertise, what they are providing to you, that they will be available as well if you will be awarded with a contract. And to wrap up with all what I wanted to say, first of all, don't hesitate to contact us. We are open. We are willing to cooperate with you. And so if you have any questions, concerns regarding any requirements in the procurement, something is not clear in the technical specifications, in the draft contract, please use that opportunity and ask those questions. As I said before the proposal and application submission, otherwise it will be a struggle. And we cannot actually do anything with that information, just to note it. As well, I kindly ask to follow the deadlines and plan your early involvement in both reading the procurement documents and preparing your application and proposal, so you have time as well to review what you have prepared. So as I said, in case there is some mistake, there can be a situation where Commission unfortunately cannot help you, and the proposal have to be rejected. So, and the last thing what I mentioned as well 2 slides before, I think, was about your partners. It's not only about the partners in the partnership, it's about the subcontractors, about the entities on which resources you are relying. So choose them wisely and carefully, so you have the feeling and you have the that you will have together all the resources to deliver the contract and to deliver it in great quality. So thank you very much.